Well, I'm super excited, everybody, to introduce this phenomenal being to your lives, the lovely Catherine Turner, who actually has graduated from the Fearless, Loved Up and Free to Be Me program. And it is your graduation ceremony this full moon. So as I'm making this, we have a full moon energy upgrade, planetary healing, soul healing that's taking place on Sunday, the 15th or 16th, is it?
I think 16th.
16th of January, first full month of 2022. And yes, you're going to be one of the graduates along with the lovely Emma. What really, really excites me about Catherine, which is why I wanted to get you on, is she's a book writer and an illustrator, and specifically working with children. And if you know how my path has been shifting recently, I've been really making this move to seed star peace in the collective consciousness of humanity, and to work with the creatives who are putting content out. So I'm over the moon when I tune into Catherine's soul and what's coming through. It's like, oh, to offer things to children under the age of 7 to minimize their, to minimize them having to live out things they don't really need to live out. And then you told me today how excited you are about working with 8 to 13-year-olds and that journey of going from primary to secondary school. And I was like, how amazing would that be to have this consciousness that comes through deprogramming your subconscious from trauma and plugging into your soul consciousness and then creating from there. So what I'd love you to start with, Catherine, so I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions so that others can get a sense of whether this is for them or not. How can people find you? Where are you at? What are your tags, etc.?
So you can find me, my website's www.ktdesigns.me. And I'm on Instagram as well, which is K Turner Designs. I'm also on Etsy, I think, but should I mention that?
Yeah, you can do. It's fine. I mean, we'll put the links in anyway, but like, if you just search you straight away, that's absolutely fine. Great. And tell us what it is. Like, we're going to get into your biggest vision because we really want to energize that. Okay, but what made you decide to do the Fearless program? What made you decide to come and join our group coaching program?
So I think I was in this point where I was just a bit stuck and I was frustrated with myself that I wasn't really getting anywhere. And I just kind of wanted to get to the bottom of what was sort of getting in the way of me, I guess, getting where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. I think so when I read something, I think it's from it was a Facebook link or something, and I just thought that's exactly where I'm at, and I just thought this is worth giving it a try. And then I spoke to Augustine, and everything he was saying, I just thought, well, that's just spot on where I'm at, and just made sense to give it a go.
Awesome. And I remember initially it was like, oh my God, I can't afford it. It was a big thing. You had to borrow from mum and dad, didn't you? Because you had the house sale coming up, but you know that you didn't have the money at the time, but you decided to invest in yourself. And most people will not invest in a high ticket personal coaching program. They'll do it for business, they'll do it for a qualification, but you chose to do it. And I want to know for you, what have been the biggest wins? Because I've seen you shift in the way that I know everything you want is totally available to you now. But before, it feels like you had dreams, but there was just such a gap between where you were and those dreams were.
Yeah.
You know, together we've powerfully kind of discovered that the biggest reason people don't create what they want is they're scared of what's on the other side. And this has been something we work with. But for you, what do you feel you've really got out of this 4-month container?
You know what, I think the biggest thing I've learned is just about like loving myself and my self-worth, because that was holding me back from everything really. And I think that's the journey I've gone in the last 6 months, is kind of just like realizing that I have got potential and I can do things, and actually I can put boundaries in place, and that I'm just beginning to love who I am and actually believing in myself, and everything else is kind of just become easier since then, I guess, because I've sort of thought, well, I am a good person, and I love what I do, and then I've enjoyed doing my art more because it sort of freed me from that, and I've had better relationships with people because I've put boundaries on the ones that I felt didn't really bring me joy, and I've drawn close to the ones who I feel more myself with. And so it's kind of just a lot of things have made more sense from me just realizing that I love who I am, I suppose.
Well, that is so huge, because to have a healthy relationship with anyone else, we have to have one with ourselves. I think you've heard me say several times that our creativity, sexuality, and fertility are kind of one and the same. So, you know, if we want to attract love, it's the same as kind of having a thriving business or making more money. It's kind of all to do with our self-worth. And one thing I've really seen you start to do is to care more about what you think and less about what other people think. In fact, it's not even think, it's what you feel rather than what you think other people feel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is for me that I'm always in my head and I always overthink things, and I'm always wondering what other people are thinking. And I think a lot of my decisions were made on, or I think that person thinks that, so I need to behave this way, or I'm worried about upsetting that person, so I'll behave in this way. Whereas now I've just been realizing I've been more aware of my own thoughts, and that's just kind of helped me to be like, okay, this is how I think, and that might be different to how you think, but that's also okay. And it's been really good actually about just having good conversations with people, and then as well just realizing like actually most of the people who love me in my life want me to be happy and actually respect that my own opinion. So it's weird because I've sort of come into alignment with actually what people have wanted from me, even though I've tried to fight against what I thought that. So that I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like so like a lot of people who've loved me have been like, they just want me to be in a relationship where a guy just loves me, but I've been like, yeah, but I'm attracted to this kind of person, so you're just not getting it. But actually I realized, oh, I do just want to be in a relationship with someone who loves me. And it's kind of like, I think people probably love me better than I love myself, so they've seen what has been good for me rather than, and I've just come into alignment with that, I think, which has been really good.
Yeah, I'm seeing that your perception has really shifted about what they were saying, because when you kind of got your fear goggles on and we're desperately trying to protect our self-identity because we feel like we're not seen, we're not heard, we're not that, we don't realize that actually if we look at it differently, they're not saying it has to be this way. They're just clear. They can see what, they just want you to be happy.
Right? Yeah.
And in the past, I think one of your, from what I remember from your intentions, it seemed like you were attracted to the unavailable man, and that was part of your of the way that you got round wanting intimacy but being scared of it. Now I feel like you're in a very, very real place where you can see clearly how you want to feel in a relationship, and it is possible, and that you can have a good man by your side without feeling like you have to compromise your truth, right? Without having to play small, without having to pretend to be someone you're not. That's the biggest thing I've seen with you. And you really owning your passion for your creativity, and you're shining, you know, like it's so different seeing you in your more relaxed state. And as a creative, that's so important. So, I mean, what would you say to someone who was thinking about investing in themselves in this way? What would you say to someone who's kind of where you were 6 months ago?
I would say it's totally worth it, because I think the thing that scared me the most was the money, because I didn't have that much at the time, and I just thought, is this crazy? And then I realized, like, actually this is my life, and actually I want, you know, the best things out of this life I've learned from the course, so it's all worth it really, because it's not even really looking at the money. I guess the money helps to sort of think, right, I'm going to really make this worth it because I'm putting the money in it. And that's what you said to me at the beginning. And I think that's really true, because I think if it had been free, I probably would have given up on it at the beginning. But at the same time, it's been worth every penny, because I feel like I've finally, things are becoming clearer. I'm in a place where I don't feel stuck. I feel like actually I can see it coming, and I just so I think go for it.
That's the process, because part of our process is that people do learn to become wealthier as a process, because they let go of their lack programming. And I think with you, I can just see everything you want now is really possible, and you have the steps to create it. Where you fall short, where you get stuck, where you lose focus. And, you know, for those who don't really recognize what the course does, it's like putting your soul in control, right? So we've talked a lot about thinking, because that was kind of what you were about in the past, but you're learning to feel your way through what you want to create, what you think is possible. And if there's one thing I've seen with you again and again, I'm like, up your game, you know, like want more, not less. And that's true for so many people. So what was the other thing that I was going to say with you? You're right. Like, it is this thing of, you invest big because then you're going to be committed to the results, and you're not going to give up when it's challenging. Because one thing we established today was how important for you it's to lean into what you're scared of or what you're uncomfortable about, rather than pull away and try and distract yourself. And that's how you know whether a fear is genuinely viable or not. And you're just piecing it all together. So I'm super excited. But even more exciting is that you've done all of this self-development, like you've worked with the symptoms, you've worked with the causes, and now you can create your beautiful books and illustrations and seed these ideas into the consciousness of children, which to me is like getting to them before they need forever therapy and before they need all these things to try and deal with their early influences. So I'm so excited for that. So let's energize your dreams. What is it that you are now ready to step into that you would like everybody who watches this video to energize with you? What is it that you are ready to say yes to?
Oh, I think the creative thing has been something that's come out of this, which I'm so excited about, because it just feels like I want to use what I've learned in order to help kids and young people who have struggled with similar issues to myself, or like who have held back with fears, to realize, like I've been taught, that I've got the power and I've got the confidence to be able to make stuff happen and to move past things that are difficult or scary. So I'm creating this book at the moment that I'm really excited about, which is like, so I have done a lot of children's books, which one of them is tackling a lot of like mental health issues, but this one that I'm working on at the moment is more for sort of older people, and it's a lot of the things I've learned from this course about learning to breathe and to let go and to write down things that have come up and to get things out, basically. And so yeah, I'm really excited about it, because I do think that it's something that will be, of which I wish I had actually as a kid, because I just think it's a daily sort of 365-day calendar thing with just short actions and activities and things, and it's also about being creative. So I'm going to call it Create, Play, Love, because it's about, yeah, being creative, being playful, and learning how to love yourself and other people. So yeah, I think it's going to be really great, and so I'm excited to get it done.
And that, I think when you first told me about it, it's like a calendar for adult, to bringing the inner child out of the adult. Isn't that right? It's like it's suitable for adults and teenagers.
Yeah, well, it was initially for young people, and then someone friends have said, oh, this would be really great for adults as well. And I think I want to sort of do kind of almost two, where it's maybe one slightly simpler language, maybe one bit more specific to adults, but it could just be the same book. I mean, like, yeah, we've got the child inside all of us, so perhaps I'll just, yeah, aim it for everybody.
It's so, well, anyone who wants to pre-order, get in touch, okay, because this will be coming out imminently. And I think I just love your scope, because this is one of the things we do in the courses. We reparent ourselves. We learn to give ourselves the information we didn't get as children to actually develop the confidence that we need. And there's no disrespect to our parents. Everyone's done the best they can, but it's this sense of being your own inner mum, inner dad, being the reassuring and encouraging voice that perhaps we didn't have. And I say, put yourself on your lap and give yourself a hug. So, you know, we get, when mum's evolved and dad's evolved inside of us and they're not fighting with each other, our inner child gets the chance to say, I want this experience. And then inner mum and inner dad help line us up for that, right? And that's what you're doing between your sort of logical and your feeling states. And I'm just so excited. So that's awesome. We're energizing the book. We're energizing the right publishing firm for you, the right agent for you, and like that you're really put on a platform to share your gifts with this world. Any personal intentions that you would like manifest? What would you like to say?
Yeah, I guess I've got two other big goals I'd like to, I mean, this year would be great if they could come along nicely. I would love to be in a relationship where I just feel like, yeah, it's the right relationship, where I just being able to stay who I am, and we can grow together. And yeah, it would just be one where we both feel we can be honest, and yeah, it's an exciting one to be in. So I'm looking for that kind of relationship. And I'd love to be in a new house where that I own, somewhere close to where I'm living now, and yeah, that I can feel I can really create in, because I need a space where it's light and open, so I can do my art and feel like I've got enough space to be able to create that. So those are my two big things that I'd also like this year.
Well, words are wishes. We've all heard you, and everyone who's listening will as well. And I feel so strongly now, seeing you 6 months on from when you started, that, you know, rather than these being pie in the sky dreams that you had no idea how it's going to happen, the steps are there, and it's just about the motion. But you're learning to receive rather than go out and get. And that's another part of this journey, is like being that vibration. And just seeing it, I'm sure you can all see it in lovely Catherine today, but it's just this gorgeous, graceful energy just flowing from you. So I'm delighted and so excited, and we will keep you all up to date. If you want to join us for Sunday for the lovely full moon energy update and healing and soul healing and world service, you'll meet Catherine and the lovely Emma, and we will be, looking at what graduation gifts get received to you or gifted to you from Source. Thank you very much for your time. Lots of love, everyone.